Hello there. Hello, Kaede. Hello, Haru. Hello, Abysmal Curry. Uh, can anyone else? Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Can anyone else hear the game audio at all? I stood up and pulled my headphones out of my PC because I'm stupid.
Hello there.
I can hear that, General Kenobi. Oh, thank you for the lurk, Haru. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I'm an idiot, so I stood up while wearing headphones and pulled them out of my PC, and then I plugged them in, and now I can't hear the game. Why did that happen? Audio output. Make sure it's using headphones. Yeah, I might need to restart the game. Alright, well, let's restart the game. I don't know why, but... Okay, now game audio is back. Sweet. Hi, Jade. Yeah, no, I didn't need to do anything with the OBS audio source. It was just the game is being funky today, apparently. I'm using the PC version using a controller. You're just gonna be here in the chat because you're having funky audio, funky Wi-Fi problems. Sorry to hear that, but you know, you being here is fine. That's all that matters. And what is it, Kaede? What? Ironically, Skyrim crashes a lot less now that you have 115 mods. Ooh, you got your emotes. That's exciting. Okay. So here we are in Skyrim. Let me run down the mods that I'm using, because we have some new folks here in chat today. If it'll load. There we go. I don't use too many major mods. I just kind of touch things up a little bit. But I like to keep my game pretty close to vanilla. Dapper mud crabs. I have seen those. They're pretty funny, but no, I like my Skyrim to be relatively vanilla. I just have, you know, the unofficial patch, so because Bethesda doesn't like to fix their bugs. Climates of Tamriel is like a weather mod. It's also a lighting mod, but I didn't change any of the lighting settings for the game. Pure Waters is supposed to make the water look better. I haven't noticed a difference. AI Overhaul is, I thought, made it so that people would, like, not say random lines to me as I was just walking past them. It doesn't do that. They still say random dialogue lines, but what it does do is it gives the NPCs more of a daily schedule type stuff. So, like, you know, you'll see people walking outside of town and the likes. Also, they'll run away when there's a dragon attack. Cutting room floor just adds a whole bunch of cut content that was developed by Bethesda, but never made it the final cut to the game. So it's like, you know, extra dialogue, some new places in the game, and a few, like, minor quests. But I don't know. I haven't checked out the Bard's College since installing this mod, but hopefully, yeah. Hopefully we can get some good Bard's College stuff. And you can kind of hear in the background, I have some more soundtrack added to this game. It's not... Basically, once you've played thousands of hours of this game, as beautiful as the music is, it can get tiring. So this doesn't replace the music, it just adds new music. So you'll still hear the original soundtrack, as beautiful as it is, playing in the background. So, for those that don't know, this is an unarmed build, but I'm also using shield. So I can't remember who it was. I think it was Curry that mentioned that this is referred to this as the Captain America build. Yeah, this is a Captain America build, pretty much. I'm punching things while using a shield. I am a Khajiit. You can't see that because of my helmet. And you can see my tail. And we are currently on our way to Riften, because there is a special piece of equipment that you kind of need if you're doing an unarmed build that's in Riften. It's in the Ratway. You'll know what it is if you played this game before. And yeah. I could just fast travel there, but I very much like just walking. I enjoy the ambiance of this game, the beautiful scenery. It's a gorgeous game, if you can see it. And there are wolves up ahead. Hey, Wolfie. Nope. Nope. You're just running away. Okay, that's fine. Oh, there they come. Might as well cast some oak flesh to get that. Get some XP there. Alright, come at me. Oh, a frostbite spider. Faendal is my companion. I picked him up in Riverwood, and he has not died yet. Come here. Come here, you. Where are... You're so far away. You know what? Fuck you. I don't need you. You're just like a wolf or something. I don't want to get too far away from the road. Especially when it's like the middle of the night, so I can't see shit. I could cast candlelight. That'd fix that problem. So yeah. Just some lovely Skyrim today. Oh, there's an orc who said, huh? Why are you huhing, orc? Oh, that's another frostbite spider. Nope, nope, nope. Down you go, down you go, down you go. Oh, you're a drug dealer. Okay.
Run off. Greetings, sister. You look weary. I have something to help you relax, if you're interested. Take a look.
You probably can't buy anything that I have. I doubt you can afford any of it. But we'll see. Oh, perfect. There you go. Take that circlet. Now, time to murder you.
The sweetest moon sugar. At a fair price, of course. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. You're mine. Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
And come on. Oh, Faendal. That was brutal. Why did I just take all? No, that's not what I wanted to do. Fuck. What don't I want? What did you even have? I probably don't want that. And I mean, I guess I'll take whatever potions you have. It's not like I know all the potions I have in the first place. I'll keep the ingredients. I guess it was just the rough spun tunic that I didn't really want. But anyway. Yep, murdered that person. Not that I have anything against drugs in Skyrim. It's just I want them. And also, it's just like a free speech check that you almost never pass, but you never know. Alright. We have another quest over here that involves a giant. I should probably drop a save here. I could totally die right now. Come on, I need someone to back me up here. Okay, I need healing. Healing. Why are there more enemies? Oh! Okay, we're not dead. We're not dead. Come on. You can go down anytime now. Anytime, 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 anytime. Nope. 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 Okay, down you go. Now what are those? Probably vampires, right? If I had to guess. What are you?
No business here, outsider.
Well,
Leave
shut
at once.
up. There's, like, an enemy. Multiple. Oh, wolves. Oh, I don't actually care about wolves. Alright.
Forgive Ugor's harsh words. She's merely doing as she's been told. Please, our tribe suffers, and we need help. Our chief Yamaz was once a strong and proud warrior. Now he is stricken, cursed. He is weak, and so our tribe is weak. The giants sense this and intrude on our territory. Now they assault our very home. Yamaz refuses help, but I sense that you may be just what we need.
Hi, Theron Tiger, and thank you so much for continuing your sub. I really appreciate it.
Yamaz has demanded we stay inside the walls. We cannot leave. I must petition Malakath for relief. This curse must be lifted. But I cannot travel to Malakath's shrine. The ritual must be done here, and I do not have the materials I need. I beg of you, can you bring me troll fat and a Daedra heart? I have no wish to depend on a stranger, but I have no choice.
Oh, I apparently have them. Okay.
Excellent. Now, you must come with me. You'll become a part of this. You must be present for the ritual.
I just planned on picking up this quest, but as I'm passing by and already have the materials she needs, might as well. You're just taking your sweet time, aren't you?
We need nothing from outsiders. Yamaz will provide for us. We cannot carry on this way. You know we are doomed if we do not do something. Yamaz charged me with keeping outsiders away from Largishburg. Would you have me disobey him? You were charged with keeping us inside the walls. Have faith, Uber. I only wish the best for our tribe. Fine. It's your neck.
Okay, so Bethesda's just being Bethesda. That was the dialogue she was supposed to have before I interrupted her with my own dialogue. And then she went back up here to have the dialogue that she didn't get to have in the first place. Skyrim, everybody. I like orcs.
It is time, Mars.
You bring an outsider here, and now insist I call on Malakath for help, when he has clearly forsaken me. You try my patience, Vtuber.
Doing nothing will not grant our tribe relief from this curse. We must try.
Fine. Let's get this over with.
Yeah, I'll elaborate on what I just said in like a minute once this entire cutscene is over with. Come on, go ahead and leave. There you go.
Now we begin the ritual. Great Malakath, we beseech you, aid us in our time of need.
Why are we bothering with this?
You pathetic weakling!
What's that?
Malakath has heard my pleas. He speaks to us.
You dare summon me, Yamars?
What? What is this?
You don't deserve to call yourself an orc. You're weak, you're small, and you're an embarrassment. You let giants overrun my shrine. Bring me their leader's club as an offering, and I might release you from this curse.
So it will be. Malakath has spoken, Yamars. Your path is clear.
Very well. You, outsider, come here. I want a word. This is all your fault, you know. I'm stuck fighting a giant now, thanks to you. So you're going to help me. You're going with me, and you're going to make sure I don't have any trouble reaching that giant. Don't worry, I'll make it worth your while. Thanks to you, I've just been issued a challenge in front of my whole tribe by a Daedric prince, no less. I can't ignore that. I didn't say I wouldn't fight the giant. I just said you're going to help me get to it. Meet me outside Fallowstone Cave. You clear the way to the giant for me, and I'll make sure you get paid for it.
Alright, we are not going to do that immediately because, fun fact, it involves me fighting giants, and I am still too low of a level to actually be able to reasonably fight the boss giant, so we'll just put that in our to-do list. Okay, so what do we need? In alteration, mage armor we are not going to invest in. Magic resistance, though, could be useful. What about enchanting? What do we have here? I guess fire enchanter is about the only thing we could get there. Heavy armor. Can't get any perks there. Maybe might as well do block, right? Yeah, just another point in our block. Yeah, so I'm a fan of like orcs and orc culture and how it's represented in this game, because they're like they have their own little society. Like, this here isn't just like some random bandit camp where they just kind of set up a place to live. Like, this is an orc society with its own rules and its own chief who lives in the Longhouse, and I don't know. Orcs are fascinating. And yeah. I don't know. I could say more, but I don't feel like it right now. So, oh, floating mace. Cool. Oh. Aha, got some gold. Alright. Back to the main road and back to what we actually came here to do. I think this is the main road, right? Probably. Yeah, this is it. So, alright, daybreak. Daybreak is happening, so we can actually see now, finally. We've got some... Yeah, what I was saying before, we have a to-do list. As we're playing an unarmed build, there is There's a pair of gloves that you can find in Riften with a unique enchantment that you cannot get anywhere else in the entire game, as far as I know. I don't know. I've sunk thousands of hours into this game, so I'm pretty confident that there isn't another instance of this enchantment. But it's an enchantment that increases your unarmed damage. And as there are only 2 ways to increase your unarmed damage in this entire game, I need both of them. Which is why I'm investing in heavy armor, smithing, and enchanting. Because heavy armor has the heavy armor perk for dealing lots of unarmed damage. Smithing is a reliable way for me to get the best heavy armor available to me at any level. And enchanting can let me squeeze out most of the benefits from that enchantment. Oh, come on. More wolf. Ooh, and bears. Oh! It's a Spriggan attack. Oh my gosh, I'm probably gonna die, actually. I might have gotten a little bit too cocky. Is this the only healing potion? Well, it's gonna have to do. Aha! You can't follow me down here, you Spriggan. Okay, excellent question. When did I last drop a save? Now is probably a good time. Oh no! I need to run. I need to run. I'm hoping these guards can at least be useful. Nope. That guard just died. I need you. Help me. Alright, that's one of the bears taken care of. No! Do I have, like, anything else? Nope, that was my last healing potion. Alright. Spriggan, stop paying attention to me. I'm not the important one here. Stop paying attention to me. I'm not the important one. Guards, I need you. I need you to make me not die. Oh my god, why is it still coming for me? Guard! Vandal, help! Help! Someone, take its aggro. Whew! Spriggan attack. Was not expecting that. think I have a quest eventually that asks for Spriggan Sap. Let's see, so find the bears that died, loot their corpses. Alright, I do not need any more bear pelts, I don't think, for the rest of the game. Okay. Now, as this is a farm, we're almost to Riften finally. It's 7 a.m. Probably be 8 by the time we get inside, and right around here, the guard's gonna like tell me to go to the front gate, I think, right? The road to Riften is pretty weird, because this is, I think, the most straightforward way to get to Riften from Iverstead is like the south road, and it's also the way the road is indicating you to go if you want to go to Riften, but it takes you into the back entrance of Riften, which you'd think most of the roads heading to Riften would take you like towards the front entrance, but I don't know, it's a little weird.
Hold and stand down. If you want to get into Riften, use the north gate. This one's closed. My orders are to tell the riffraff to use the north gate. That's it. No. You can use the north gate, or you can head to the next city.
Wow. I forgot there was actually a speech check there. Yeah, like there's not even a road you can use to swing around to the north gate. You just kind of have to... I mean, a lot of people would probably swim by the lake. And this isn't even an entrance, is it? No, I guess it is.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something in the old fort near Riften. Consider joining up myself.
Oh, look at that. Look at the, like, the sunrise peeking up over the mountains in the distance. I love this game. I love this game so, so much. Oh. Oh! Hi! Hello! Hi! Conjure Adept? Alright, time to beat you to a pulp. I forgot I'm out of healing potions. Ow. I got a little cocky there, thinking I could take them on. When did I last save? Oh, right here, really?
Hold and stand down. If you want to get into Riften, use the north gate. This one's closed. My orders are to tell... No. You can use the north gate, or you can head to the next...
Alright, remember to drop a save this time. We've got a monarch and a blue butterfly just kind of merging into each other. Or doing unsavory things. Alright, let's try for this Conjurer Adept this time, and this time, try to be less cocky while doing it. We could also try leading them to the north gate. It seems like they're actually taking on the bandits this time. That's good for us. Because I think bandits are going to be less of an issue for me than the Conjurer. Because I do not have any magic resistance. Ah! Ow! Ouch! 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 Can someone please... Where's the Conjurer? Where is the Conjurer? country has got to be somewhere, right? No. Maybe the encounter got shuffled. That's probably what happened. Anyway, off to the north gate. Oh, are we under attack? Are we under attack? Someone just said somebody help. Doesn't look like it. Oh! Oh, it's just wolves. Really? Alright, beat up the wolves. Who's this? Oh, it's just another wolf. Might as well kill one of them, right? I did not mean to pick up those flowers. Let's just eat it.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard. Vampire hunters or something in the old fort near Riften. Might consider joining up myself.
Hold there. Before I let you into Riften, you need to pay the visitor's tax. For the privilege of entering the city. What does it matter? All right, keep your voice down. You want everyone to hear you? I'll let you in. Just let me unlock the gate.
Yeah, so with Riften... Oh my god, why? Again with the flower? With Riften, it's a corrupt city. Like... And the game tells you that by having your first interaction with the city guard being a shakedown. It's a fairly easy to pass speech check, though. I rarely don't pass it, although there have been occasions when I wasn't able to. Yeah. Who are you?
I can take you to any of the hold.
Oh, you're that person. What? Oh, you're the person I want. Hang on, hang on.
Too lazy to walk, eh? Well, you found the right place. I'm not afraid of anything out here. Walls are just a weakling's hiding spot. Not me. I'm no weakling. In fact, I bet I got the strongest arms in all of Skyrim. Oh, sounds like I've got a challenger. Tell you what, how about a friendly wager, just between us? I bet you my entire purse of septums I could beat you in a fistfight. You match the bet, and we fight until one of us gives in.
Sure thing.
Alright, remember, this is a clean fight. No weapons, no tricks. And none of those fancy magic spells either. Here we go. Come on.
Alright. Now, he says no magic spells, he just means, like, no offensive magic spells. I can totally use Oak Flesh. 12 septums on the big one. Who's the big one?
I don't believe it. I guess you were right. Not at all. It's good to be put in your place once in a while. I guess I shouldn't boast so much. It gets expensive.
Alright. Now, before we go into Riften, there's, like, I think one other thing I want to do. Hang on, what's my Oh, Temple White Arms, of course. Let's just deselect that for now. Yeah, over here, there's another quest I want to pick up, just as I'm passing by. Over at Merryweather Farm. I think it's you.
I'd be a lot warmer.
Who in the name of Azura are you? Are you kidding me? We're all alone out here except for a few guards who couldn't give a damn about us. We make easy pickings for thieves looking to steal everything we worked so hard for. Not only did they take my bow, but they took all of our coin as well. Nothing's sacred to these people. A few days ago, some thieves from Riften broke in here and stole it. Can you imagine? Took the only thing of value we had. If you have the guts to head into the Ratway and get my bow back, I'll pay you what I can. Thanks. It'll be nice to have it back. Means a lot to me. I bumped into them when I was coming back to my farm after buying supplies. I know those lowlifes took it with them back to the Ratway. They left an unmistakable stench behind. It was a family heirloom. I can't even put a price on how much that thing means to me.
Alright.
Ratway is somewhere under Riften. Shouldn't be too tough to find.
So, yeah, this is Draven. He lives out here on a farm outside of Riften, and the guards are useless. He got robbed, his family heirloom was stolen, and the guards didn't want to do anything about it. So, yeah, Riften. It's probably... It's definitely in the top 2 most corrupt cities in all of Skyrim. The only other contender I can think of off the top of my head would be Markarth. Because, yeah, like, none of these other cities are particularly corrupt. Hello, Katari? Hi. So... Yep, anyway, let's head inside Riften. Because this Thieves Guild lives here. Hydration check. Alright.
I had another run-in with the Thieves Guild.
Be careful, Leo. The Thieves Guild has Maven Blackbriar at its back. One snap of her fingers and you could end up in Riften jail. Or worse.
They represent the reason I'm here. I can't just ignore them, Eren.
I know. I just don't want you to leave. You're the only good thing that's happened to this city in a long time.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it's been a nice stream so far.
Visitors like us are rare in this part of Skyrim. To call it a guild is ridiculous. How can people who would betray one another over a gold coin be considered part of an association? They're the worst kind. Even the Dark Brotherhood abides by a strict set of rules and tradition. These thieves are just rabble. What do you think?
Wait, I said your username correctly? What did I say? Katari? That was it? Wow. Anyway,
That's a shame. Too many people in Riften share your view, and look where it's getting them. It's going to take more than just myself and Eren to help this city. It has to want to help itself first.
anyway. You don't need to hear all of her dialogue.
I've never seen Mjol.
Mjol is
City really gets to her.
basically the White Knight of Riften. She, like, came here to protect it from evil and corruption and all that, like, and she came and found the city is extremely corrupt. Or I guess it's like she was brought here, right? Like, after her injury, she was brought here, and then as she stayed here recovering, she, like, learned of its corruption and wanted to stay and try to set things right here in Riften. But she has a lot of work ahead of her. She's only one person who doesn't have a lot of political sway compared to Maven Blackbriar, who is like the queen of corruption. So, and she has a lot of political pull here in Riften. So, let's talk to Maul.
You in Riften looking for trouble? Yeah? Well, I got news for you. There's nothing to see here. Last thing the Blackbriars need is some stranger sticking their nose where it doesn't belong. The Blackbriars have Riften in their pocket, and the Thieves Guild watching their back, so keep your nose out of their business. Me? I'm Maul. I watch the streets for them. If you need dirt on anything, I'm your guy. But it'll cost you. Then you're stupider than you look. You better watch your ass around here.
Alright, well... So... Yeah, like... First, like, 2 minutes into Riften, we get shaken down by the guards. We hear the White Knight of Riften complaining about how corrupt this place is. And we get basically a face-to-face interaction with one of Maven Blackbriar's hired muscle. So, this is a lovely place, and
I'm really getting tired of your excuses. When you borrowed the money, you said you'd pay it back on time and for double the usual fee.
I know I did. But how was I to know the shipment would get robbed?
Next time, keep your plans quieter, and nothing would have happened to it.
What? Are you telling me you robbed it? Why? Why are you doing this to me?
Look, Shadra, last warning. Pay up or else. All I care about is the gold. Everything else is your problem.
oh, would you look at that, more corruption.
Huh? What do you want? I owe a great deal of money to someone, and I think they cheated me. I don't know what to do. I was able to work out a deal with the stables in Whiterun to sell me some of their tack and harnesses. I borrowed some gold from Sapphire to pay for the shipment, but it got robbed before it even arrived. Now Sapphire wants her money back, and if I don't pay her, I think she's going to kill me. You will? Oh, thank you. Be careful with Sapphire.
Alright. Now, I'm noticing this, and I've never seen this before. I think it might have been added by one of my mods, but like, yeah, see the mist kind of flowing over the canal? I think that's pretty cool. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, I love that. It's so pretty. Yeah. Very cool. This is a good game. Bully. I can't remember what it is you do. You like run one of the shops, don't you?
You in town, eh?
Oh, you're the fisherman.
Fishing, I guess.
Anyway. We've got a few more quests to pick up while we're here. Yeah, it's a very good game. One of my favorites of all time.
Sorry, just thinking about my experiments.
Let's see,
My
you're
wife
the
is
one
on
I
my
want to talk
experiments
to.
today. What did you need? I'm aspiring to earn that title, yes. However, the road ahead is paved with loose cobbles and deadly pitfalls. Master Elgrim says I'm a natural, that I have a unique talent, but I fear his approval masks his intolerance for my mistakes. My errant formulas have cost Master Elgrim a fortune in ingredients, some of which are almost irreplaceable. To restore Master Elgrim's supply, I would need 20 Deathbell, 20 Nightshade, and 20 Nirnroot. Am I sensing that you may be interested in gathering these rare ingredients for me?
Yeah.
That means more time for my experiments and less time in the field. Much appreciated.
Yeah, we've got an alchemist here. She's not actually an alchemist yet. She's the alchemist's apprentice. he's the
Or
alchemist,
did you wish to buy something?
and she is the alchemist's wife.
Those ingredients?
So, yeah. Yeah, you can jump into any Elder Scrolls game. There is no
I don't understand.
requirement.
The formulas
Like, the
were
game
for
will
nonsense, but I've advanced well past that point.
basically, like, you learn about the world as you play it, and the story is separate from any of the other games. So, yeah, like, I'd recommend you pick up Skyrim if you have the option to. It's a good game.
Very well, I'll keep practicing then.
Other people, like, I'd say the top 3 Elder Scrolls games that a lot of people seem to really like are Skyrim, Oblivion, and Morrowind, and for various reasons. Daggerfall is also a game that a lot of people really like, but I feel the people that called that game their favorite are a little bit more niche. So I can see why they like Daggerfall. It seems like a pretty good game, but this one, I don't know, this one's probably my favorite. More out of nostalgia than it necessarily being a great game. It has its flaws, but I love it. I especially love exploring this world. So, yeah, she's, I think, the daughter of Maven Blackbriar, who is the queen of corruption here in the city. And
Just thinking about
she
my
just
experience.
loves alchemy and the concept of alchemy. And she's used up a lot of ingredients that happen to have, like, damage health stats on them. So she wants me to help restock.
What was it you wanted?
Also, let's hear about why she's so fascinated by this alchemy thing.
It's exhilarating to observe the effects of my potions on the body. Watching the heart stop, the eyes go blind. We're made up of thousands of parts with thousands of different functions, all working in tandem to keep us alive. Yet if only a single part of our imperfect machine fails, life fails. It makes one realize how fragile, how flawed we are. You ask why I'm so fascinated? The irony that the same world that gave us life provides us the means to die.
A dino mod, that'd be fun. Dinosaurs are cool. Yeah, so, and yeah, tell me about your family.
My family. All that wealth and they squander it on foolish ventures and political schemes. I was meant for so much more than all of this. I wish to pledge my life and ply my talents in darker circles. If only my mother would let me, I would make her proud.
Yes, Skyrim is single player only. There is a multiplayer mod for Skyrim that lets you, like, play the game with friends. Who are you?
Come to laugh at the grave tender?
I've never seen you before.
If you're trying to ask if I tend the Hall of the Dead alone, then the answer is yes. You think anyone around here is going to lift a shovel to help me? Guess again. Leave the dirty work to old Alessandra. Look, I didn't ask for this job. I got stuck with it thanks to my father.
Who are you? I've never seen you before.
I'd like to make the journey to the Hall of the Dead in Whitemoon and give my ceremonial dagger to Anders, the caretaker. I believe once it's interred with my father's remains, I'll be at peace with his memory. I hadn't asked you because I was afraid you'd say no. I appreciate your help. Here, I'm entrusting you with the dagger. Bring it to Anders and he'll take care of the rest.
Wow. We found a quest in Skyrim that I've never played. Well, that I've never run into, I mean. What?
My
That's
father
interesting.
was a priest of Arcade. All my life was spent around the dead, being forced to learn the proper burial rituals and prayers. I never had any friends.
Who'd want to spend time with the weird little girl who hangs around dead people? So I grew up with a miserable trade. This is all I know how to do. Prepare and inter the deceased. A priest of Archay is entrusted with a ceremonial dagger once they have completed their training. It's usually given by the head priest who sanctified the ritual. In my case, the head priest happened to be my father. The thing is, I never wanted to follow in his footsteps. In some ways, I still don't. I had to, for honor's sake, but I had waited too long. My father died before he could see my training to completion. When I finally became a priest, they gave me the new High Priest's dagger, but I already owned my father's. So you see, I have to return it. It breaks tradition, and I need to tell him that I finally did what he wanted.
Alright, I'm gonna pause real quick so I don't get interrupted by random people walking past and wanting to share their life story with me. So, to answer your question, Winter, what race do I main? I don't really have a main race. I like all the playable races for various reasons, and I think pretty much every playthrough I will play as a different race. I have noticed I play a lot of Khajiit from time to time, but I don't think I would exactly call it my favorite. And like, I also enjoy playing High Elves especially if I'm playing a magic build. Wood Elves are pretty fun. And even from time to time, like Nords and Bretons and stuff. Like, yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite, but I think Khajiit are at the very least the ones that I play the most. And yes, to respond to you, Katari, Argonians are also fun, yeah. Yeah, so Elder Scrolls Online is a different experience from playing any of the main title Elder Scrolls games, because it's basically, it's an MMO that's just set in the world of the Elder Scrolls. Yeah, it's an MMO. It's still fun. I enjoy playing it. I think mostly because I've always wanted like an Elder Scrolls game set in all of Tamriel that's like 3D, because I know the very first Elder Scrolls game, Arena, was set all across Tamriel, but that one is like 90s graphics, so I can't really explore all of Tamriel, whereas in Elder Scrolls Online, you can. Yeah, that's totally reasonable. Like, MMOs are... You can usually dedicate your time to like 1 or 2 MMOs, but yeah. Yeah, ESO has... I don't know, actually, like, I'm kind of iffy about MMO gameplay a lot, because it's basically like you have these abilities that you set on like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you just press the buttons and do stuff. I think it'd be more fun if I had like actual friends to play the game with, because it's very much built for party gameplay. There's a lot of dungeons you can't really do unless you have an actual party. Yeah, you really have to dedicate your time to like 1 or 2 MMOs at a time. My favorite thing about ESO is the exploration. Like, how you're basically dumped in a province, or a part of a province, I guess, and you explore it thoroughly before you go on to the next one. I think that's my favorite part of ESO, and I kind of want to get back into it. I've been like, I don't really have too much time for MMOs currently, but I do want to dedicate a little bit of time to either ESO or Final Fantasy XIV, and the reason I say Final Fantasy XIV is because it's a game a lot of my friends are playing, and that's like the main point with MMOs, I feel, is to get to play with your friends. So, since a lot of them are currently playing a lot of that game, I might want to dip my toe in the water there, but I don't know. ESO is one that I've been itching to get back to. Anyway, so what was that quest we picked up from Alessandra? Oh. Yeah, so is she like a NPC that's always been in the game and I've just never run into her? Or was she added with the cutting room floor mod? Anyway, yeah. Riften is a beautiful, beautiful town. They butchered Argonian lore in ESO. Someone said screw it and modded their whole culture off the Mayans when there's so much good material of unique Argonian lore in single-player books. Yeah, I mean, I totally see why they based it off of Mayans, because they do take heavy... Like, Argonian culture does take heavy, like, Central and South American cultures, but it's very... Like, yeah, I can see your problem with that, and I can... And it is a lot more complex than just directly basing it off of that culture. You're gonna lurk and get some studying done? Well, thank you for stopping by, and thank you for the lurk, and hopefully you'll give this game a try, because I think it's one of the best games I've ever played. Anyway.
My food is the best in all of Skyrim. Always as fresh as the day it was collected.
Brynjolf saw me and is walking towards me now.
I picked up a trick from a butcher in Eleanor, a small town over the border in Hammerfell. He showed me a way to grind up ice wraith teeth and use it as a preservative. Keeps everything cold and fresh, but only for a limited time. I'm always looking to replenish my supply, so if you ever come across 5 of them, I'd be more than happy to take them off your hands.
Before ESO, there were no Xanmirs in Argonian lore. I actually haven't heard anything about those, so I am not sure what those are.
Thanks. I was actually worried I'd run out.
Anyway.
Never done an honest day's work in your life for all that coin you carry.
Yep, Brynjolf, with your working for the Thieves Guild and sniffing out the fact that I have stolen my money, presumably, which I don't think I have. Posture check.
I'm saying you've got the coin, but you didn't earn the septim of it honestly. I can tell.
Oh. Okay, so they're like structures. I see. Yeah, I haven't encountered much of like the Skyrim,
It's all about sizing up
or not Skyrim. I haven't encountered much about the Argonian stuff. Was that added in like the Black Marsh expansion? Or I'm right? Like there is a Black Marsh expansion. I know they were planning on one.
is my business. Maybe you'd like a taste. I've got a bit of an errand to perform, but I need an extra pair of hands. And in my line of work, extra hands are well paid. Simple. I'm going to cause a distraction. You're gonna steal Medesi's silver ring from a strongbox under the stand. Once you have it, I want you to place it in Branchet's pocket without him noticing. There's someone that wants to see him put out of business permanently. That's all you need to know. Now, you tell me when you're ready, and we'll get started.
I'm not gonna do this just yet, because I do want to talk to Branchet before I actually do this quest. And I know, like, right after I do the quest, he'll get arrested. So let's talk to you, because you have a quest for me.
Dark elf by birth, but I was raised Argonian. For reasons I'm still trying to discover, I ended up orphaned and taken in by a kindly Argonian family in Black Marsh. I hope one day to find out what happened to me, how I ended up like that. Just one. I know when I was found by my Argonian father, I was wrapped in a blanket bearing the symbol of House Telvanni. It was one of the great houses in Morrowind long ago. Whether that means I was one of them or not, I'm uncertain. If you come across anything in your travels that might provide me with the answers I'm looking for, I'd be grateful. Thank you.
Yeah. If anything, if they insist on tying it down to an IRL culture, Argonian culture is much more like First Nations, distinct lack of metal in their society, prefer to use rocks, shells, scales from their ancestors' animal hide. I think I have heard that before. Yeah. Yeah, I think I've heard that before.
I learned that a matron who had served for House Telvanni had escaped Morrowind during the Accession War. Records showed her buying passage aboard a sailing vessel named Pride of Telvos. That's where the trail ran cold. I spent years looking for what became of the ship, but I ended up empty-handed.
Hello, Fallen Angel, and hello, Impish.
Everything I've got on display, really.
So yeah, Branchet. Oh, thank you for the follow, Fallen Angel. So yeah, Branchet is a dark elf, but he was raised by Argonians and given an Argonian name, so he doesn't really know much about his past. And if you do the quest Brynjolf gives you, he'll get arrested, and you'll totally forget about him in the Riften dungeons, so you won't do this quest if you are too hasty when you first enter Riften. At least that was my first playthrough of Skyrim. I didn't realize you could do a quest for this guy until like a little bit later. So, let's do some selling. Oh, and thank you for the follow, Winter. Yeah, I'm just gonna dump a whole bunch of my stuff on you. Oh. There you go. So,
Anything you can find will get great help. Good luck.
yeah, I'm just gonna talk to all these people first.
Looking a bit under the weather.
Oh, I forgot I have a disease. Thank you for telling me. Okay, so actually, you know what? I'm gonna sell just that and this. And then the rest I'm going to actually wait until I hit up the enchanting table, and then I'll come back to you.
Come back.
I have tried ESO. It's one of those games that, like, I play for a bit, like I am really into it, and then I kind of leave it for a little bit, and then I go back to it. I, like, go back and forth on it. I like it. You've studied that part of the lore since 2002. Honestly, like, I don't blame you. I am a huge fan of the Elder Scrolls lore, and I've noticed... I wouldn't exactly call myself an expert on it, but it's like a game... It's something that I kind of... I've noticed that it changes a lot over various games. And yeah, I wouldn't blame you for having problems with changes to one of the entire playable races cultures in a recent game because they were being a little bit lazy. Yeah, as I was saying in Pitch Nerd, yeah, I've played ESO. I like it. I don't think it's the same experience as, like, playing... I was kind of talking about this a little bit before on stream, before you showed up. It's a different experience from playing any of the other Elder Scrolls titles. It's very much just an MMO with the Elder Scrolls, like, world and lore. I enjoy exploring that world. That's probably my favorite thing to do in ESO, and one of the reasons why I want to go back to it is I still have not explored, like, every place you can explore. And I haven't even touched any of the DLC for that game. This is just the base game. I've sunk probably hundreds of hours into that game and still not explored, like, all the provinces. So, I enjoy ESO. It's a different experience from main title Elder Scrolls games. And, yeah. Oh, you follow my YouTube? Thank you for the sub.
You're ready to spend more gold.
Yeah, that's just where I upload all my archives to, because Twitch archives will disappear after a certain amount of time. Anyway, yeah, before I do anything else, I want to... Maybe you'll see me on the fields of battle. Maybe. Yeah. I'll just have to get back into it. I do have to say, I've enjoyed... I didn't play too much of it, but I did kind of enjoy the PvP experience of ESO. I think it's a very interesting, like, three-way battle tearing across all of Cyrodiil while you're assaulting each other's forts and, like... Yeah, I played that for about a week. I'm usually very iffy about PvP stuff because I am not a min-maxer when it comes to RPG games, especially MMORPGs that I don't really know much about how I'm supposed to build. But yeah, so hang on, let me... Alright, we're gonna go with this expression. You've honestly never tried PvP, you prefer PvE. Yeah, I'm the same as you. I do prefer the PvE experience, but I do really enjoy... Like, I'm not huge on PvP in a lot of games because I feel I'm very much going to get my ass kicked by players that actually know what they're doing. But the brief period of time that I did touch PvP in that game was fun. I do recommend trying it. Check out a book series in game called The Argonian Account. It talks a lot about them and the dangers in Black Marsh, like bogmud, acid water, giant worms that travel underneath the country. Yeah, so from time to time I will like do a Skyrim playthrough where I try to pick up and read just about every book I come across. It's hard to stay on top of doing that, and I think every single one of those playthroughs I've just kind of dropped the playthrough midway through. I can't remember if I've actually read the Argonian account, but even if I haven't, I've definitely heard people talk about it. Like, I follow a lot of lore channels on YouTube, and they've discussed a lot about stuff like that. General Kenobi, hello, Bacon Smakin'. Yeah, that would be fun, Impish, for us to fight side by side on ESO. It's a game that, okay, looks like I don't have anything. Might as well do some enchanting then, right? Look for the most expensive enchantment, because that's what's gonna get me the most. Okay, so 738. Okay, so this is the most expensive one. Yeah, that's how you know which enchantment is gonna get you the most experience. Yeah, so it'd be fun to do. What is your... Ever had a ring that resurrects the undead even after death? No. No, I have not. Also, real quick, I just saw I got a text from my mom, so... 1 second, let me respond to that. My face tracking is gonna freeze for a minute. What is that restaurant? Probably it's the Indian restaurant? Hang on. Yeah, so my face tracking is probably frozen right now. Sorry about that. You want to like ESO, your character on Xbox One has 2 souls, is a level 265 Argonian Templar healer tank, and so gave it a fair try. Yeah, I have not... I don't remember what level my character is. I've not... Because it's a game that I keep going back to, it's like... Yeah, it's... I haven't done terribly much leveling up. I know, like, once you get to level 50, you then unlock... I guess it's like legendary or something. Basically, like, you unlock a whole new perk tree that you can dedicate perk. It's the champion thing, right? Yeah, champion. I can't remember how far I am into that. I think I'm like level 100 something champion. Yeah. Anyway, what I was about to ask was... Okay, that's the place. Hang on. Sits at level 5. Yeah, that's fair. You'll get there. Let's see. Yeah, I have to send a warden. Ooh. Yeah, if I were to play ESO... First of all, I don't know if I'd need to create a new account or not, because the account that I played on has, like... My username is something that I don't necessarily want to share with a lot of people, so it's possible that I'd have to start my own new account. And yeah, I play on PC myself. Oh gosh, this website is not easy to navigate. Y'all ever, like, see restaurants that you'll want to, like, order off their online menu, but their online menu is, like, not clear how to see what you want to look for? It's just says, like, catering, and I see a dinner menu, but oh, there we go. I can click on it now. No cross-platform play. That sucks. I forgot that. I forgot that was a thing. Let's see. All right. Found the menu. But yeah, what all is your preferred? I'm guessing winter. You play, because you're Argonian. That probably means you play Ebonheart Pact. What are you playing, Impish Nerd? What's your faction? Yeah, Sony sucks. You're an orc? If I had to guess, that probably means that you're the not Blue Line. Yeah, Daggerfall Covenant. There we go. I was thinking Fire Emblem Three Houses. Yeah, so the Daggerfall Covenant, that is probably my favorite faction, the Daggerfall Covenant. I'm a fan of them. My first character in that game was a Red Guard for the Daggerfall. So, yeah. Probably my favorite faction. Let's see. Yeah, I don't blame you for liking the Pact. The Pact is pretty cool too. Okay. Hang on. I need to focus on my order from this restaurant. We are eating Indian tonight. Indian is very good. There it is. My favorite thing. Ooh. Actually, I'm a big fan of Matar Paneer, but Aloo Matar also looks really good. What do I want? Aloo Matar or Matar Paneer? Chat, you vote on what I'm gonna eat. Aloo Matar or Matar Paneer? God, it's such a hard decision. I'm just gonna roll a die on it. Evens, odds. Odds. Okay. Alright, is face tracking back? Hopefully it should be back. Let me put my phone back on the mount. Come on. There we go. Alright. Yeah, let me just double check, make sure we're moving again. There we go. Yeah, we're moving. Good. So, there we go. You're too white. That's fair. Okay, so back to the game. And actually, I will be right back. I need to use the restroom. Alright, I am back. Dinner has been ordered. I have used the restroom. Let's play a little bit more of this game. You'd think a Canadian would be more cultured, but not if they're from the redneck side of Canada. That's fair. Yeah, like, I've been learning more stuff about, like, people saying, you know, Canada isn't the great heartland of being nice to non-whites that it seems to be. It's probably still better than the US, but still not necessarily great. Anyway. So yeah, you asked a question. What do you think should be the next world threat in the next game? So, in next game, do you mean like the Elder Scrolls 6? I'm not actually sure. 647. Alright, this one. That's an excellent question. I think it's... I wouldn't really necessarily count the Aldmeri Dominion as being a world threat necessarily. They're definitely a political threat to, like, Tamriel, especially the Empire of Cyrodiil. But yeah, I wouldn't necessarily count them as a world threat. But I do think the Elder Scrolls franchise is still going to continue with like exploring the Aldmeri Dominion as just like an overarching antagonist for the games. But as for like a world threat, as in like Alduin from this game, if I had to guess, oh man, yeah, if I had to guess, assuming the rumors about the setting of the next Elder Scrolls game are true, because I think that does matter as to what the actual threat is going to be. The rumors as to the next Elder Scrolls game are they're going to be basically like combined Hammerfell and it's not Daggerfall's the name of the city, right? High Rock. It's gonna be like combined High Rock and Hammerfell, if the rumors are true. So if that's the case, I don't know. I would like it to be something from that kind of lore, like from Breton and or Slowed. The Slowed. What's the Slowed? That name sounds very familiar to me, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head. Anyway, I spent all day just kind of in Riften, so we're gonna spend the night here.
Heed my words. Return of the dragons is not mere coincidence. This is one of the signs that Lady Mara is displeased with your constant inebriation. Put down your flagons filled with your vile liquids and embrace the teachings of the Handmaiden of Time.
No, Mara. We talked about this. Talon?
Kira, certainly we can come to some sort of an understanding. These people must be made aware of the chaos they've suffered.
Enough, Maramal. We've all heard of the dragons and their return. There's no need to use them as an excuse to harass our customers.
Very well, Talon. I'll remove myself from this den of iniquity.
We're not kicking you out. Just keep the sermons at the temple and let us all sin in peace.
Yeah, so... Priest of Mara is... not a fan of the debauchery here. Anyway, I'm just gonna hang around upstairs while I continue talking, so we will have fewer interruptions from random dialogue as we walk past people. Slode are an aquatic race of slugs that's magical prowess made the Altmer mages look like children with starter spells. Ooh, that sounds interesting. What I think could be a fun threat at some point, because I've always been fascinated with Akavir, as you know, in all the games we've really explored a lot of Tamriel and basically nothing but Tamriel, but there are other continents besides Tamriel in the Elder Scrolls universe on Nirn. And Akavir is a place that I hear a lot of mentions about, but we've never seen it. We've never gotten to see Akavir. And I don't think Bethesda, at least not anytime soon, at least not in the next 10 years, is going to set a game in Akavir. So we're probably not going to get to see it for a very long time, if ever. So what would be a cool way for us to at least learn a little bit more about Akavir would be... You know, I think there was a... I think I remember... Holy shit! I accidentally hit the shout problem. Oh wow. Slows sound very powerful. Yeah, the Akavir... So I think it was it Tiber Septim when he founded the Cyrodiilic Empire? Was it he that tried to invade and conquer Akavir? I feel I heard something in lore about one of the emperors tried to invade Akavir, but it didn't go down well. What would be interesting to see would be an invasion from Akavir into Tamriel. Because I hear the snake people over in Akavir are very imperial, and basically I've heard lore. Oh, it was Riemann Cyrodiil. Yeah, that makes sense. Basically, I've heard rumors that they have plans to conquer Cyrodiil, and I think there might also be lore. Well, it's either I've heard that there were plans to conquer Cyrodiil, or that there was actually lore of when they tried to invade Cyrodiil. But either way, I think it'd be cool to see something like that. Kind of like how Skyrim is set after the Great War between the Septim Empire and the Aldmeri Dominion. And so we're kind of dealing with the aftermath here. It would be cool to see another Great War where basically all the people of Tamriel have to band together to fend off invaders from Akavir. That would be very cool. Another thing that could be interesting... Well, there's I think 2 other ideas I've had in my head for what could be an interesting way for us to have a new... The Seishi are loosely related to Argonians of Black Marsh, and interestingly, every time Akavir invaded, they leave Black Marsh unscathed. Ooh. that could be a very cool thing to explore. But yeah, there's like 2 other potential actual world threats that I have had in mind. So we've seen how the Aldmeri Dominion is very... They have huge plans for Tamriel. They want the human empire, the human Septim Empire to end so that they can take over and have, like, basically have their own elven empire. For, like, the time of men is over, the time for Mur is now, something like that. What would be interesting, because we've heard and seen... I'm just going to play the game while I talk, because there's stuff I want to get done. We've heard and seen rumors of the Empire wanting to fight back and have a... Oh, Sam Guinevere is here. Your theory is Chasey are born from the Hist as well, just as a different... Ooh. Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. I can see where that theory comes from. Yeah, so it would be like...
Can't you bother me at my armor stand in the market?
What would be an Yeah, they're the Snake Men. What would be an... So yeah, we've heard rumors that the Empire is planning to push back and essentially start a second Great War to fight against the Aldmeri Dominion. And the timeline for that would possibly end up right around the time of the Elder Scrolls 6, potentially. Because, like, the Empire obviously doesn't want to fight back in the middle of a civil war in Skyrim, when they're still trying to hold on to, like, one of their more important provinces.
Yeah.
And by more important, I mean, like, all of them. All the provinces of the Empire are important to the Empire. But, so it would be interesting to see, like, them having to basically, like, having the Empire push back again. Yeah, I hope they win too. Like, I totally feel... I'm actually kind of sympathetic to the Thalmor, and I totally see what their problems are with the current Empire. But what I think the setup kind of is the Thalmor are kind of the bad guys. At least they are in Skyrim. And they're possibly gonna stay that way in Elder Scrolls 6 too, if the setting is correct, because I don't think the Thalmor are looked that highly upon in High Rock and Hammerfell either. But think of this, picture this, right? The Empire rises up again to fight back against the Thalmor. And so the Thalmor, being the big baddies they have been in this game and might be in the next game too, basically summon forth some magical being to help them fight. Think of, there was like the giant mecha, whatever that thing was called, that the Dwemer used way back in the day. Like, I can't remember its name, but there was like that huge mecha that they used. And that was... Imagine that, but Thalmor. Like the Thalmor... Or, well, it's not exactly the same thing, but basically like a massive world threat that the Thalmor could use, but potentially lose control of. And so the Thalmor summon it. That'd be like the first act of the game. as a counter attack to the counterattack to the Imperial like attack on the Thalmor. They summon whatever that magical thing is. That's Act 1. Act 2 is they're kind of trying to learn to redirect it and control it. And Act 3 would basically possibly be the Thalmor having to side with the Imperials to overthrow this thing the Thalmor just summoned, because they can't control it and it wants to destroy all of Tamriel, and so they have to rise up and stop it together. Yeah, the Thalmor holds Somerset, Valenwood, Elsewhere, Blackmarsh. Hammerfell is independent. The only provinces the Empire holds are High Rock, Cyrodiil, and Skyrim. Yes, but so you know the quest in Skyrim where you basically have to help out either the Redguard soldiers or the Redguard woman. I can't remember the name of the quest off the top of my head. But you know the quest I'm talking about, right? And both, whoever you talk to on whichever side of that quest you want to side with, will say the other person is the one that's working with the Thalmor. I think that's kind of hinting that even though the Thalmor don't necessarily control Hammerfell outright, they definitely have agents seated in Hammerfell to, at least if nothing else, try to get them on their side politically, even if they're not necessarily trying to conquer Hammerfell. They might be trying to potentially turn it into a puppet state by having political influencers that are pro-Thalmor there. Yeah. So, but at the same time, because they had, during that entire quest line, one side was basically saying the other side is working for the Thalmor. Part of that might have been because this is Skyrim and the Thalmor are not heavily looked on in the best light, so they might just be saying, oh well, the Thalmor are the bad guys to whoever the main character is, and therefore I want them to think the other person is working for the Thalmor. That could be what they're thinking of, but it could also be like there are people in Hammerfell that are not fond of the Thalmor. So, yeah. Yeah, like they don't directly control Hammerfell, but they definitely have influencers and like agents. Okay, let's see. I need to do some crafting at some point. Is there? Actually, yes, there is. Actually, hang on. I need to talk to you next. So that was another idea I had. Where are you? Where did she go? Yeah, like Thalmor influences. Hello, Toby! Hi! It's good to see you here. So that was like my second idea as a potential world threat in the next game. My third idea is the Dwemer. Now this is probably a total long shot theory that's probably not going to happen in any game. But imagine, right, the Dwemer, like I'll admit, I'm not 100% on what the lore is kind of trying to say what happened to the Dwemer. I think I've heard that it's like they kind of got sucked into their, like, a separate I think it's kind of like they got sucked into a realm of oblivion or something like that. But basically, imagine they were to come back somehow to Tamriel. Like, first of all, how would the people of Tamriel deal with that? Like, they're not necessarily invaders, but they could be. They could be invaders. Yeah, so Kirk, I agree with that headcanon. The Dragonborn is basically a walking god. Winter says, the only races the Thalmor care about helping are elves and beast races. They sent representatives to Blackmarsh to help the Argonians rebuild their country after booting the Empire. So currently Argonians are pro-Thalmor. Yeah, basically, Thalmor hate humans, and they care about the Mer. So, yeah, like the time for men is over, the time for Mer is now. And Toby says, you once tried to walk direct to a place, so you climbed a mountain and found a random shrine, and this deity gave you a sword that burns the undead. It was your favorite sword. That would be Dawnbreaker, right? That was Dawnbreaker. That's probably my favorite sword in the game, too.
You don't look so good. Are you feeling all right?
Oh yeah, I need to heal my illness.
Me? I call them treasures.
Yeah, Dawnbreaker is a good weapon. Oh. I didn't realize that's what I was wearing. Whatever. Let's see. So, probably don't need to sell you any of these, but might as well as I'm passing by. Any of these that I'm absolutely not ever going to use in the rest of my life. Probably skooma. You can have the skooma. You can also have my scrolls. You'll love to steal all the things and slowly walk away to sell them. Yeah, some people do like to play the game that way. Yeah, you can have that book. I probably have some... I have no use for moon sugar. You can have that. Yeah, like, there are people that like to play the game that way. I think a lot of people like to play that game that way. I'm a little bit of an outlier. Okay, I think I've sold pretty much everything that I care about. God damn, the thunder is loud. I still need to talk to you. By the way, Balamund is probably the carrier. It's probably the character that I've married the most in this game. I don't know why. I just really like Balamund. He's a useful husband to have.
I owe my success to my forefathers and their recipe for flame. The secret is my forge. It serves fire salts, a strange mineral that burns as hot as red mountain lava. Well, it was. Someone's forge is dying, and I've used the last of my fire salts. If I can't feed it soon, it may grow cold. You will. Thank you. 10 pitches of fire salt should give me all I need to bring this forge back to life.
Alright, yep, we have to get him these fire salts. Do I have anything left I need to sell? Probably not, if I had to guess. I can sell you arrows. Yeah, I'll just sell you my arrows. I don't have a use for that sword. Awesome. Now time to do a little bit of smithing while we're here. Is there... I don't think there is a smelter here in Riften, is there? A gold diamond ring. Yeah, crafting jewelry is like one of the best ways to level up your smithing in this game. Alright. Now, I think that's like most of the quests I want to do. Actually, there's like 2 more quests, right? There's the Frost quest, and there's this quest up here. There might be a couple more that I'm forgetting, but we'll get to those as they come. Ophi is rating me with a party of 69. Nice. Thank you for the raid. Thank you so much for the raid. Very nice. I need to find me... Where's that person I want to talk to? How's your stream? Did you have a good stream? I stopped by briefly as I was setting up for this one. No, it's not you. It was a good stream? That's good. Where's the person that I want to talk to? It's not... Is it you? No, I don't think so.
Out of my way.
Oh, yeah, it is you.
If you must know, I was practicing in the yard when the guard I was sparring with fainted when I specifically told him to duck. My blade bit right into the stonework next to the keep and needed serious repairs. Thankfully, our smith Ballerman works wonders. In fact, if you'd fetch my blade from him, I'd be most appreciative. Thank you. Do hurry, please.
You need a voice break though, because doing one character's voice was getting to your throat, and also you're getting hungry. Well, go eat some delicious food.
Every day the threat of exile from Riften draws closer for myself and my family. Who knows how many spies the Empire has sent to our midst already?
Alright, have a great rest of your day, Ophi, and thank you so much for the raid.
If my brother sailed and had his way, we'd be flying Imperial
Oh, Ezra's, thank you for the follow.
Can you believe that fool had the audacity to speak of his love for the Empire in the plaza? He expects us to drop our defenses and greet them with open arms, to dialogue with them rather than defend our homeland by spilling their blood. He's a traitor, plain and simple. Had I been sitting on the throne, he'd be hanging from the gallows for his sympathies toward the Empire.
Hang on. Let me see your theory, Winter. One idea I have for a threat is 40 years later, the Empire has recovered and is punishing all the races that went pro-Thalmor. So they militarily backed the Dunmer, occupying Black Marsh. But the overzealousness gets out of control and the Dunmer use fire magic to clear the marsh, which causes Hist trees to catch flame, pissing off the Hist, which caused the Argonians to go crazy, supercharged by the Hist, and ravage their way across Tamriel. That could be interesting. Like, having the Hist is... The Hist is powerful and not to be messed with, and honestly that does seem like something the Empire would do. The Empire... Yeah, like...
What brings you to Ballerman today?
They would probably be very salty after they lost the First Great War, and yeah. Oh, thank you, Suswitch, for the follow. Here's the thing, though. I don't think... Like, the problem is that would make the Empire be the bad guys. And while I agree, like, especially with this game, Bethesda has been leaning the Empire towards a gray area of, like, well, they're not as great as you thought they were. They do kind of... They're not the best. I think that would straight up flip them over to being like the bad guys. And I honestly don't see Bethesda going in that direction. Yeah, it's not completely out of the realm of possibility. They are not great. But yeah, it'd be like, I don't think that's something Todd Howard would do, is my personal feeling on that.
The son of the young took your sweet time getting it to me. Here you go, for your trouble.
Alright.
Until next time.
Did you have some sort of official business here?
Now I need to talk to you.
Excuse my disorganization, but I'm in the middle of some delicate experiments. Someone actually interested in what I'm doing. Amazing. Well, allow me to explain. My experimentation involves a magical construct and a reagent that will allow the construct to maintain a field of permanent harmonic energy.
Cool.
Aha! So, you're a student of theoretical applied harmonics. Putting aside Ralston's constant of universal inversion for a moment, how would you approach the problem? Draw the harmonic energy into the reagent, or allow it to generate its own field?
Yeah, she's a nerd. And I love her. Windalia. Or Willandria. Oh, hang on. I've been saying her name wrong in my head the entire time. Willandria? I've always called her Windalia. Wow. How about calipers?
Calipers? That's utterly ridiculous. Maybe long ago you could just find calipers in every household across Tamriel, but not anymore. Hold on. You've given me a brilliant idea. Just as calipers hold materials in place, a soul siphon can hold magic fields in place. Genius! And I'm sure you've completely worked out how to counteract complete dimensional collapse, right?
Of course. It's 9.
Of course! 9 is the most basic of magical principles. Oh, how stupid of me. That completely takes care of all your basic problems: magic of burn, dimensional collapse, and thermic drift. You've done it! Now, if I can only remember what we were originally talking about. Yes, I could.
Plus, in Oblivion, the Empire did abandon all the citizens in every other province that they swore to protect. That is true.
No, too messy. Well,
To be fair to the Empire... Oh, thank you for the follow, Gilded Siren.
as much help as I can get. In fact,
To be fair to the Empire, like,
I could start.
how could they have known they were about to be invaded by Oblivion? Like,
As you can imagine, I tend to forget things often.
it doesn't excuse their behavior, but,
I really must learn to put
like,
this
I don't...
away.
Actually, no. They totally should have known. No, never mind. I take that back.
My grand soul
They absolutely should have known they would have been invaded by Oblivion, because that's what the entire point of the Amulet of Kings is to basically guard... Okay, yeah, never mind. I retract that statement. They absolutely would have had a contingency if, like, someone wasn't there to keep the dragon fires lit. Yeah.
Excellent. I can't wait.
So, if that contingency was just, like, abandon all our provinces, like, well,
Know where they are.
screw you, you're not a great empire. So,
Let's see. Last time I used the Dwemer's spoon was at my dear friend Bodhi's house in Iverstead. Fellstar Farm, I believe it's called. The Orichalcum ingot should still be at Winterhold at the Frozen Hearth Inn. I don't know why I didn't just take it with me. And last is the Soul Gem. I left that one in Windhelm at the White Phial Alchemy Shop. It was a good trade, too. Oh well.
Alright. Now... So let's see, I've got that quest. I think the only other quest up here is the drug dealing quest. I don't know if we'll do that right away. We might. The thing I want to do most of all, though, is go ahead and collect the... Yeah, drug dealing. Turns out there's a skooma racket here in Riften, and if you talk to the Jarl, you can start a quest for that. Before that, I want to do what I came to Riften to do, which is I want those gloves.
Wait until I start the distraction, then show me what you're made of.
Alright. I do have mods, but I play with very very light game-changing mods. I don't really do like the Oh, Curry. Thank you for all the gifted subs. And thanks to that, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to scroll back up in chat to see what Winter was saying. The whole thing created the rise of the Thalmor. The militant faction in Somerset stepped up and tried to defend it when the Empire abandoned them, allowing the Thalmor to gain massive popularity. Yes, that's exactly why the Thalmor rose up the way they did. Because basically, like, you know, the Empire doesn't protect all of its citizens, and the Thalmor are basically like, well, this is why humans shouldn't be leading an empire. But yeah, this is my small list of mods I'm playing with. I don't really play with anything that massively changes the game from its original state. It's just a few quality of life mods. So yeah. Yep, humans are dumb. Eat them. It's time for Myr to rule an empire for once. And of course, if Myr are ruling an empire, why shouldn't it be the Thalmor? Or, not the Thalmor, the Altmer. I mean, yes, the Thalmor, because the Thalmor are a political faction of the Altmer, but yeah. Anyway, time to do some stealthiness while Brynjolf is doing some distraction. Come on, lockpick. 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 Okay. You vote Khajiit for president. Yes. Yes, indeed. Medesi. Talus worship. Come on, that's illegal. Yeah, in exchange for ruling Skyrim, Black Marsh is like, yeah, totally. Don't blame them. Alright, stay hidden, stay hidden, stay, there we go. Branche, it is time to pickpocket this onto you.
Looks like I chose the right person for the job. And here you go. Your payment, just as I promised. The way things have been going around here, it's a relief that our plan went off without a hitch.
Yeah, this is actually my third time discussing this on stream, but yeah, like in this stream. Elder Scrolls Online is a very different experience from any of the other Elder Scrolls titles because it's an MMO, and it's basically just like an MMO with the skin of the Elder Scrolls universe. So it's got Tamriel and Oblivion and all that stuff, and like all the different races in the lore, but it's like it's still an MMO at heart. I just like playing ESO because of the exploration and because of... I mean, some parts of the story are interesting. Yeah, there are like some mod projects like that let you go ahead and... It's like Skywind and Skyblivion. Those are, yeah, mods that I intend to give a look at when they're fully completed. Furthermore, there is the... I can't remember the name of the project. It's like the Open Tamriel project or something like that. Basically, it's multiple mod teams are working on adding content to the game. Well, no. They're working on adding other provinces to the game. And like each team is working on building each individual province and adding a whole quest line to that province. If Nords are heavily Viking based, whereas the Morning Stars and Throwing Axes. Yeah, that's an excellent question. Who can say? Alright, what should this perk go to? Should it be enchanting, or should I think I need some magic resistance. Yeah, it's something I'm gonna need. Alright, so the Ratway is not gonna be easy.
I don't know, Druff. They'd skin us alive if they knew we were doing this.
Why are you always acting like such a big baby? I've gotten us this far.
Hello?
This far? We're living in a sewer. He said we'd have a house as big as the Blackbriars by now.
You worry about bashing people's heads in. I'll worry about the guild, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to check the entrance to the Ratway. Be right back.
Yeah, they are based off of Vikings. They're not actually Vikings.
Hey you, stop right there. Empty your pockets or end up as skeever food.
No.
No need to get hasty. I was just testing you. You can go on ahead. Let him go, human. All clear.
Oh. I'm used to murdering these folks. I guess that's the cutting room floor mod.
What are you looking at?
So... yeah, no, this is not Earth. This is a completely fantastical world with a different setting, but a lot of the races you can play in this game are, like, based off of real-world cultures. Okay, so further into the Ratway, let's get some light going so I can see. There's an expert lock. I'm gonna pick that lock eventually just so I can get the experience for it. Your brain just didn't separate it. That's fair. Like, they are, after all, heavily based off of Viking society and culture. They're just not the same. Okay, this is right around where the person is that I want to kill and steal his glove. Yes, that is true, Impish. Viking basically referred to raiders who, yeah, they didn't really, like, yeah, they weren't a society, they were, yeah, basically a profession. The planet is Nirn, the continent is Tamriel, and hello, Skeever. There's about 5 different continents. What are the 5 continents? So there's Tamriel, Atmora, Akavir. There's like... Is Somerset technically a continent? And then there's... What's the 5th continent? Is that the continent that, like, supposedly the Redguard came from, but it disappeared? Is that the 5th continent? Alright. Also, I have to remember, I'm sick. What am I sick with? Is it even something I care about? Reduce stamina. Yeah, I guess I would care about that. It'd be kind of like calling gladiators a group separate from the Romans. Yeah, pretty much. Alright, you're the person I have to kill. Oh, there's also traps here. Alright, let me... Oh! You hurt, you hurt, you hurt, you hurt. Okay. Down you go. Alright, this is what I came for. The gloves of the pugilist. The only way in the entire game you can get this enchantment to increase your unarmed damage. And so, yeah, I need those. Ow! Oh no, that's not what I want to pick up. Food. Don't need that Nord mead. Now, while we're here, we might as well clear the entire dungeon. Oh, that's just draft of health. I was hoping that'd be like regeneration or a healing potion or something. Okay, further in we go. Wait. No, there was a trap there? Okay, there's like some more people we have to kill, right? Yeah, there you are. Now, are you a lowlife or are you called lowlife? Tamriel, Akavir, Atmora. Okay, those were the ones I know about. Then there's Aldmeris and Lig. Aldmeris and Lig. Aldmeris I've heard of, but I can't think of... I can't recall anything about it. And Lig, I've never heard of. Last time you played, you had a collection of skulls in your house. That is reasonable. People do that. And you also saw a video on YouTube of this person who read all the books inside the game. That is also a thing. There are a lot of books. I bet that was a very long YouTube video. But it's fascinating stuff. And I do recommend reading, if not all the books, some of them. Yeah, there is a whole lot of books in this game. Okay. So let's unlock this expert lock just for the sake of unlocking it and getting the XP. I don't actually need this door to be open. We're gonna break a few lockpicks doing it. That doesn't really matter to me. Lockpicks are a dime a dozen. Hey, there we go. Nice. Alright, lockpicking increased. Sweet. Now, let's head into the Ragged Flagon. I'm gonna pick up this quest, but I don't think I'm gonna, like, go far into the Thieves Guild questline just yet. I just wanted to head into the rat way. So.
I'm telling you, this one is different.
We've all heard that one before, Brandon. Quit kidding yourself.
It's time to face the truth, old friend. You, Vex, Mercer, you're all part of a dying breed. Things are changing.
Dying breed? What do you call that then? Well, well, color me impressed, lass. I wasn't certain I'd ever see you again. Reliable and headstrong? You're turning out to be quite the prize. So, now that I've whetted your appetite for a little scheme in the market, how about handling a few deadbeats for me?
Deadbeat swinging out.
They owe our organization some serious coin.
Grab a scythe and show them how.
I want you to explain to them the error of their ways. Kirava, Mercy Honeyhand, and Gil. Do this right, and I can promise you a permanent place in our organization. Honestly, death is secondary here. What's more important is that you get the message across that we aren't to be ignored. A word of warning, though. I don't want any of them killed. Bad for business. Good. If you need any details on your marks, I'll be here. Now get going.
Alright.
He's as pig-headed a man as you'll ever find. The key is that ugly dwarven burn in his shop. Smash that thing to bits and he'll change his attitude. Helga is a devout follower of Debella and dotes over the statue to the divine that she keeps in the bunkhouse. Use it as leverage and she'll cave. Kirava's stubborn, but she's got a soft spot for family. Talk to Talon Shed, the being bar, and see if you can get something out of him. They're well acquainted, if you catch my meaning. I'll be here when you're done.
According to the teachings of Mankar Cameron, Lig was ruled by the Dreg in the Dawn era. The tyrannical Dreg kings enslaved the 19 and 9 and 9 oceans of Lig and fought constant border wars among themselves. Interesting. You know, I have to say, I love this about my Skyrim streams, is there's always at least this one person in my chat who is just basically the lore expert of the stream. So, you get that title, Winter. You are our current resident lore expert, and yeah, so Lig, yeah, that's one that I really haven't heard much, if anything, about. Why is it quest marker being dumb? Quest marker, what are you even pointing at right now? Oh, Draven's bow, we don't need that. What do I even need to be set? Anything here? Probably not. Well, thank you for the follow, Nickel. Let's see, what else do we have? Alright, well, the most important thing is this. The thing we came all the way to Riften for in the first place.
As Yar Layla's houseguard, I would ask that you maintain respect.
Hydration check. The Gloves of the Pugilist. Unarmed strikes do 10 additional damage. This is an enchantment. I love you too, Impish. And now I realized I actually enchanted my current gauntlets. So I can't actually do anything about that currently. That was totally on accident. But next time I get better gauntlets, which hopefully... That's gonna be smithing. I'm currently level 20. We don't want elvish smithing. It'd be dwarven smithing in 10 levels? Jesus, that's some ways away. Maybe I can... Are you a smithing trainer? Yes, you are.
What I do? Very well.
Yeah, I'll level up my smithing. So that at least gets me halfway to where I need to be. I still need to like really focus on leveling up my smithing, so in the meantime, might as well do some more quests. What other quests do we have here? So there's a whole quest line with the Temple of Mara. There's the drug quest I talked about. I'll probably do that one. It's not terribly long. And then there's like a few small quests here and there in the... whatchamacallit? Oh, by the way, remember yesterday I said I set up the whole dueling command, but it wouldn't let you use points. I think I've now enabled points as a thing, so if you want to duel each other in chat, you should now be able to. They're earned similar to channel points, like just by watching in general. You'll earn points, and you also gain points for following, for donating, for subbing, and other stuff. So, and hosting, that also gets you points. So I don't know what they're used for, but you can use them to duel each other if you want. So, Elder Scrolls Wiki. Lig, also known as the Adjacent Place, is a parallel version of Tamriel which can only be reached by sliding sideways in some unusual manner, only being entered through its non-cardinal directions. Hell yes! Oh my god. Oh! This is what I love about Elder Scrolls lore, is the metaphysical stuff. Like, the whole concept of having planes that, like, yes, the whole concept of, like, multiple realms of existence, basically. God, oh, that sounds so cool. That sounds so cool. Anyway.
Welcome to Riften, traveler.
Is it you or is it you?
Riften steward, I'm afraid I can provide only limited.
Who do I even talk to?
What can I do?
Wait a minute. What do I have to do to get this quest? Oh! I think I know. I have to talk to someone on the docks who's gonna complain about, like, having the shakes. But then I'm gonna need a healing potion. I can get a healing potion for them. What time is it? It's 6:55. Wow, like the entire day has passed. It's both another continent and another plane. That is so freaking cool. Like, here's something like that I've heard of, and again, small disclaimer here, this is something I read a while ago, and I haven't brushed up on my Elder Scrolls lore recently. But the Redguard are not of this world, right? I've heard that the Redguard are from, like, a completely different plane of existence that somehow ended up merging with this world in, like, one of its many cycles, because Tamriel has a cyclical existence, and this timeline is the timeline in which the Redguard merged with this one. correct me if I'm wrong, or if I'm completely butchering this piece of lore, but it's interesting. The Redguards and the Hist are from outside Calpus. Yes, okay. What's Calpus? What's Calpus again? Is that basically this timeline thing? Like, I've also read and heard that, like, that time works very differently in the Elder Scrolls universe than it does in basically our world. Okay, where's the person that has the shakes and needs me to give them a healing potion? Well, there's Fathom, and you're another quest that I'm gonna pick up.
Free me of my burden. The memories, I cannot stand them. You must take them away, return them to Amunshin's Elf. You must take the lexicon from me.
Hi, Club Chan.
Take it now.
I love you too, Minra.
You must bring it to Amunshin's Elf. In the west, return it to them. It must go back.
Oh man. Abysmal Curry won the duel against Impish Nerd. Okay, what? Feels good, man. Okay, so we've picked up that quest. That actually might be useful to me because I'm currently wearing dwarven armor, and if nothing else, it's gonna be helpful to me. Okay, where is the person that I need to give the healing potion to? Impish Nerd won this duel. Okay, so far we've seen 2 duels here, and it's always been the person that challenged the duel that won. Is this rigged? Hopefully it's not rigged. A Kalpa is the universe. Alduin was supposed to end this Kalpa, but you stopped him. Parthenox even addressed it, saying all worlds must come to an end and make room for the next Kalpa. Oh. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's something that I've actually worked into my own, like... So I have my own lore, my own world concept that I've been kind of working through since 3 years ago, I think. It does take heavy influence from the Elder Scrolls universe, but it's its own separate thing. I call it the Overseer Chronicles. And basically, yeah, like, I basically worked into that world's lore. Is that... I've worked into the that world's lore that kind of Elder Scrolls like D&D. It's like a world of... Basically the world exists in a cyclical timeline, right? So we have the start and the end, but then after the end, we come back to the start. And it's a person that exists in that end that basically brings about the start. So we have the whole Elder Scrolls universe, right, where for the most part everything is like bustling and society exists. The end is kind of when society ceases to exist, and there's someone there that has to basically, like, the gods of that universe, the old gods I should say, not the overseers, the old gods, are the pillars of that universe. And when they go to slumber, someone has to go and wake them up again. And that restarts the cycle. I think it's something similar to that. And yeah. You did something similar, call it the Splintered Lands. That's cool. Yeah, like... Oh, it... The problem is... 99.9% of these ideas are all in my head. They're not... I haven't written any of them down, so... But yeah, in this world, though, what's it even called? Oh, you can't accept because you don't have enough points, Minra. Yeah, I know I'm supposed to write them down. What's... I have a notebook right here, though, and I found the notebook. What's this called? Ilanman. Why do I have Ilanman written down, but not Selene? Selene is, like, the most important. Selene is where the... Here, I got a pencil right here. I'm going to write that down. Selene...
Guess. Someone stole your sweet roll.
Alright, we're gonna... I want to talk a little bit about my whole world right here. You wrote mine down, sketched them out, you made 6 races so far for it. I don't know how many races I have in mind currently, but... So, right, Oh... Oh man, I even came up with names for like the three main overseers. Like, heck, that's... I didn't even remember I came up with those names. Alright, yeah, I want to talk a little bit about my world universe that I created. So, and yes, in a lot of ways, this is heavily influenced by the Elder Scrolls universe. But I love this world that I came up with. And I want to bring it to fruition. Who the hell is the person that needs this healing potion? It's not you. Do they oversee vaults? No. No, they do not. They oversee the world. That's why they're called the Overseers. So, I'm going to walk you through basically the timeline starting from... I'm not going to walk you through the whole timeline. I'm going to walk you through, like, part of the timeline. And mostly I'm going to talk about the Overseers. So, in this universe... Heck, I haven't even really come up with a name for the planet yet, have I? Because, like, this planet, so-called, is Nirn, right? No, in that universe... Okay, I feel like I did come up with a name for it at one point, I just totally forgot. I don't have an equivalent for Nirn yet. What I do have is an equivalent for... for Tamriel, and that's Ilanman. Ilanman is the name of the continent that most of this takes place on. There's a... Yeah, so Ilanman is... Yeah, Illiman is Tamriel. Way back in the day, start with the old gods. The old gods are what people get magic from, right? That's... And so, yeah, people get magic from the old gods, and... Who are you?
What is it, Khajiit? I'm off work at the Blackbriar meeting.
Oh, no. We have... So they kind of exist in their own pocket universe. It's not really... Like, they don't have... They do have stars and constellations, but, like... They can't really visit them in any meaningful way. There's instead... Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do your quest because I can't find the person that starts the other quest.
Well, I recently approached Civi Blackbriar about buying
So one day,
finest breeding horses in Skyrim.
a moon appeared in the sky
I paid Civi
above
half the cost of Frost
Illiman.
up front, but before he could deliver, Maven had him locked up.
This planet doesn't have a moon. And now it
Does
does.
not. I want you to talk to Civi for
This moon is named Selene. Selene is where the Overseers come from. The Overseers are basically a whole society of people that are just fascinated with other people and like other cultures and societies and stuff. So they kind of pilot their moon around the multiverse to explore and watch other people's societies, kind of protect them, kind of like pets in a way. They see them as like zoo animals, if nothing else.
I'm not exactly comfortable around guards or jails. Definitely.
As soon as they showed up, the people of Illiman started worshipping these overseers, and overall, they kind of took over the original religion of worshipping the old gods. So the art of using like the old magic was completely lost after the old gods showed up. You get Destiny vibes. I've not played Destiny, and I don't know anything about its lore. But yeah, so like one day a moon was there, another day. Well, one day a moon wasn't there, another day it was. So yeah, Selene. That's where the Overseers came from, and where the old god... Basically, that's where people stopped worshipping the old gods, started worshipping the old Overseers. Obviously, it wasn't an overnight thing, but over time, people had favor for the Overseers. And so they lost the ability to use old magics. Also, remember how I mentioned this universe exists in cycles? How there's like an end and a beginning? The Overseers only exist in one of these cycles. Okay, they've only appeared in one cycle and not anywhere else. So in any other cycle, people will worship the old gods for basically eternity. Oh, a stray dog. Cool. But in this universe, the old gods are not forgotten about, but they fade into history, right? And the Overseers take the limelight. I'm working on that, Impish. I am working on that. So, upon the, like, bringing the old gods, upon worshipping the Overseers, yeah, people lose track of the old magic, and a new magic comes to light called auras. So auras are essentially a form of magic in which you can only effectively use magic that the aura comes from. So there are 5 auras in total. There's protection magic, divination, auramancy, elemental magic, and life magic. There's a whole cycle of how one is more effective against the other and weak to the previous one in the cycle. And every person has an aura. They're granted by the overseers. And anyway, here's what I want to get to, though. The overseers are not alone in this universe. They're actually being hunted. It is based on birth, yeah. And it's not genetic either. So, like, a person, if, like, 2 people had an elemental aura and they had a baby together, that child would not necessarily have an elemental aura. They'd have a 1 in 5 chance of having an elemental aura. The overseers are being hunted. A new moon shows up a ways after the overseers did. This moon is called Beshra. Beshra is essentially... there are creatures on Beshra. We don't really know how to communicate with them. And they have basically one sole purpose, which is to consume the overseers. The overseers are running for their life from these things. So not only did they come to Illiman to, like, oversee them, and because they're fascinated by them, they kind of came for protection. They sensed a magical presence there, the old gods. God, let me get past you, Faendal. Let me get past you. They sensed a magical presence that were the old gods, and felt... God, I'm gonna use console commands. And once they got... so that's why they showed up over in Illiman. The old gods don't necessarily protect them that well, but it's better than nothing. Beshra does eventually invade Selene in the first era, which results in, like, the overseers having to repopulate. In Beshra, not in Beshra. Oh, yes, in Beshra. Beshra, here's a fun fact about Beshra. Beshra is actually the planet that the overseers came from. That's their home. They're not from Selene. They had to make Selene to get away from Beshra. Why can't I not? I think I need... oh, that's why I need Whirlwind Sprint. I have Whirlwind Sprint. So. There we go. That's what I needed. So, yeah, they had to escape. They're basically running for their lives, and they kind of form this symbiotic relationship with... how long till you can roll up your character? That's an excellent question. I have a campaign in mind. It's the Great Elven War that takes place shortly after the invasion of Selene. The Great Elven War is like one of the defining features of the entire landscape of Illiman, and that's because in order to end the war, they had to split the continent in half. But yeah, I still need to work out a lot of the mechanics and also just like stuff about this campaign. Can you be a gnome? Honestly, I didn't even think of gnomes. Yeah, I don't see a reason why they can't exist in that universe. Can you eat the gnome? The only person stopping you from doing that is yourself. And the gnome, perhaps. So... yeah, like... I do have a map of this world, kind of drawn out, but it's all from the perspective of the elves, is the thing. Like, the elves are kind of essentially the main characters of this storyline. Not necessarily. Like, the humans play a part too, but they're not as essential as the elves, especially not in the first era, which is called the Elven Era. I think, or maybe that's the second era. Anyway, the first two eras are what the elves really exist in. Like, that's where they really are the most powerful. It's not really until later on. Can you systematically genocide every race but gnomes? It wouldn't be impossible, but it'd be extremely hard to do. What would that even involve? It wouldn't involve life magic, because the thing is, with life magic, you can't use it to stop life. You can only use it to, like, create avatars of life and also control things that are alive. Maybe oromancy? I don't think elemental magic could really do it, and you really can't do it with protection magic. That's a big no-no. I don't think you can. I don't think there is a feasible way for you to do it using any of the auras. Like, I mean, you could do it by hand, like other real-world genocides did, but psh, that's boring. No, maybe you could tap into the old magic. There might be a way to do it there.
Never should have come here.
But ultimately, like, ultimately the thing is with you can definitely ruin someone's life with oromancy. And there becomes a time when oromancy is heavily contested as, like, should this even be outlawed? And then people are like, no, like, literally a fifth of the world population uses oromancy, you can't just outlaw it. But oromancy is heavily contested at some point in time. You can't straight up kill someone with it. Orcs. I think so? I can't remember. So, here are the races that I've definitely have in this universe. Okay, there are elves. There might be various forms of elves, but I haven't fully decided on that yet. But there are elves, definitely. There are humans. There are halflings. I guess gnomes, yeah. Gnomes could go well in the halfling society. Because I have a whole concept of the society that halflings are a part of. And there's like one other race that they like the halflings and gnomes kind of live together with. They live in the south part of the continent. The elves live in the north part of the continent. Humans are kind of stuck in the middle. Dwarves exist, but they don't exist on this continent. They exist on like a cluster of islands way to the south. Same with... They're not Khajiit, they're foxes. They're fox people that can shapeshift. They also live with the dwarves way to the south. Then we have... giants. Giants live in the mountains. There's a whole mountain range on the east side of the continent. And on the other side of the mountain range is an unexplored land where we have leopard people and lion people. So... yeah. Foxes. The shape-shifting foxes. By the way, they're kind of enslaved by the dwarves for a time. There is a time period in which they rise up in rebellion and free themselves, but they start out as slaves as part of the Dwarven Empire. Yeah. Then... what else? Oh, here's a very interesting thing, by the way. Auras are recyclable. They are actually recycled. An aura leaves a person's body when they die, and then it can be reused in another person when they're born. So auras themselves, like, they lose some strength after the original person dies, but as the timeline goes on, auras can evolve. So in the first era, you basically only have like singular auras, right? People that only have access to that one type of magic. Starting early in the second era, you'd see a few minor cases of this. They really only pick up into like the third, fourth, and they're all over the place in the fifth era. Auras can become hybrids. So they would start off as like a pure elemental aura, but over time it could become like an elemental protection aura or an elemental auramancy aura, something like that. So yeah, I think that's a pretty cool mechanic. Time to kill people. I spent... no, don't go inside, don't go inside. There you go. Argonian souls are also recycled. I didn't know that, but in hindsight I probably should have, because Argonians like come from the Hist, and the Hist is kind of like this living, breathing thing, so I guess that makes sense. Yeah, so auras. Auras are pretty fascinating, I think. They also kind of work like a muscle. the more you use it, the better it's gonna be. The stronger it's gonna be. There are also vampires in this universe. Vampires are the result of a corrupted aura. And that's something that auramancers can do. Auramancers can corrupt another person's aura. It's highly illegal. But you can do it. And it's also not easy magic either. You have to work for it. And no one can really teach you. No one's allowed to teach you how to do it. Like, they can teach you, but they're not allowed to. Once you corrupt someone's aura, their aura becomes a blood aura. And that's what vampires come from. They now have access to this corrupted aura of blood magic. A blood aura does not recycle. A blood aura is the end of that aura's usefulness. Once it leaves its host's body, it wanders the realm as a ghost. Your main animal race is the Xenarthrans, part sloth, pangolin, anteater, and armadillo. That sounds fascinating. Anyway, yeah, that's just like a little taste of my whole, like, universe that I created in my head years ago, and I'm trying to get back into creating it. It's still very much in the works, but I do want it to eventually translate to sort of like a tabletop RPG D&D style campaign. And yeah, I think there's some interesting stuff that could be done from there. Oh, Feindal is not dead yet. Oh gosh! I thought you were dead. I don't know why I thought you were dead, but I just did. You have a mix-up race that hasn't appeared yet in your campaign, and it's a mixture of Fae and Vampire that gets energy by feeding off magic. Oh yes! You actually reminded me. There's one other collective of races, I guess you could say, that I forgot to mention. On the border between the Elven Heartland and the Human Heartland is a great forest, and that forest is populated by Naiads and Dryads. The Naiads come from the river that flows through the forest. So yeah, that's another race. They could theoretically be playable. The problem is they can't really get too far away from their source. So a campaign in which a player exists as a Dryad, for instance, would have to take place inside the forest. Or something similar. So while it could happen... Oh! Heck, I forgot what I had equipped as a shout. Yeah, it's possible. But we'd have to work something out. Oh gosh, I need healing. Xantharin. Xanthrin is the Latin word for your family tree of mammals in South Americas. Xenarthan. Okay, that's cool. The Dryad idea. You could make a story of Elemental where they were able to leave the forest as an X-level druid temporarily. That could be interesting. And actually, one other thing I forgot to mention about the Naiads and Dryads. They don't have auras. They still have access to the old magic because they're very closely tied to at least one of the old gods. So they can't break that connection. While normal, like, other people easily can just, you know, stop worshipping the old gods and move on to the overseers, the Naiads and Dryads can't do that. They know the existence of the overseers, but they have very close communion with one of the old gods. Your mixed race is called Sylphir, a mixture of Sylvian and Damphir. Ooh, cool. Yeah, I'm not very good at naming things, I'll be honest. Like, some of the names I do come up with, Beshra is actually based off of, I can't remember the exact name of this place, but it's basically named after, like, I slightly changed the wording of this name, but it's named after the hell in Hindu or Buddhist culture. I think it's Hindu. So, or like their hell equivalent. So, steel plate, that's plus 12. No, I think I'd prefer my enchantment, right? I think the enchantment is better in this case. But if any of you have any heavy armor gauntlets I could use, that would be very much appreciated. But of course you're not going to, right? This game hates me. So yeah, I mean, from time to time I might lore drop some more stuff about this whole universe I've created, and I might come up with more stuff to add to it as time goes on. But yeah, I'm very bad at writing these things down, and I'm also very bad at coming up with names for a lot of these things. But yeah. It's a long-term project that I want to bring back to life and bring to fruition. So, yeah. Back to Skyrim. I'm struggling to unlock this chest. There we go. I just murdered a bunch of Blackbriars. Going back to the lore surrounding Riften, we had the Thieves Guild. Well, like, yeah, our first interaction with Riften was like the whole corruption in Riften and stuff, and how, you know, the guards are corrupt, the, like, people in Riften are corrupt, but we don't really have, like, the thing is, you assume that's because of the Thieves Guild, and while it is the source of a lot of the corruption, the real source is really Maven Blackbriar, because the Thieves Guild has fallen on hard times. Sure, they commit crimes, a few robberies here and there, but they're not great at committing robberies. They've hit a pocket of bad luck, and they're really just trying to get by. Get back to the good old glory days. And we will explore as to why they are... Actually, I think I need Taproot at some point. We will explore more about why they need to get back into their glory days and why they've fallen on hard times when we actually do the Thieves Guild questline. But yeah, like, not everything is as straight cut as it seems. Like, you might assume that the Thieves Guild is the source of all this corruption, but I don't think it is. Don't get me wrong, they are criminals, but, like, they are criminals with they have an honor code, and they're not the most corrupt people in the entire city. So, what am I even here for? I need to set that as my active quest. I forgot I was supposed to talk to Sibby Blackbriar. We'll go and do that. We'll go and do that. I need Frost's lineage papers, but I should probably not sequence break this quest if I can help it. In yours, the Zentharans reside in a massive chunk of mountains in the southeast province of Genodial. The human races are trying to expand out that way. The Albius are funded by the sea in exchange for the opportunity to spread their faith to new believers. That's cool. That's very cool. Okay, so yeah, I need to talk to Sibby Blackbriar because I was dumb. I forgot that was a part of the quest I had to do. One second here. I had my space heater running because we had a bit of a heat wave here, like the last week or so. And then, like, today, the heat wave pretty much ended. And so I woke up in my bed, kind of freezing. And my room is like one of the coldest rooms in this entire house because it doesn't have that much insulation. So I have a space heater to basically keep me warm if I need it, and now I'm a little bit overheated, so turn that off. You won't bother with all your names, but your current campaign world takes place on a sleeping Tarask, and no one knows how humans got there because all the other races are aliens and humans just showed up. A sleeping Tarask, you say? Well, that's interesting. Tarasks are fun. Okay, Sibby Blackbriar, let me talk to you. I would kill for a smelter in this hold. Well, there is a smelter in the hold. There's not a smelter in this city, though. The closest smelter is probably, like, right around here.
Fresh meats and produce. Get them before they're gone.
Beautiful baubles and gleaming gemstones over here.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard.
I do like this music. This is nice, pretty music. It's relaxing, but it's a little bit sad too. I don't know why. It just this music, it just tugs at the heartstrings.
My cousin's out fighting dragons, and what do I get? God duty.
I have to say, I hate the dogs in this game mechanically because they get in the way all the time. They're very loud and noisy, and they're worse than just basic companions. Because basic companions you can talk to and give stuff to, and sometimes they'll get out of your way if you're trying to get past them. Dogs, you can't really move very easily. On the other hand, all dogs are good boys, and that does not, or good girls, and that does not stop in this game. Okay, so all dogs are good dogs, and this stray dog is a good dog.
Hey, you're not supposed to be.
There's 3 known continents. The plane is known as the Shard, the link to all others. That's cool.
Oh, my mistake then. Sorry, you can go on ahead.
Ah, let me guess. He wants his horse. Well, that's going to be a bit of a problem. See, I don't really outright own Frost. That is correct. You see, Frost belongs to the Blackbriar estate. Technically, everything in the estate is owned by my mother, Maven. My plan was to take the horse from our lodge and deliver it to Latrush at the stables. Obviously, that didn't exactly work out as I'd planned. Still, I don't want to cross Latrush. Tell you what, steal the horse and deliver it, and you can have the second half of the payment.
Sounds good.
Sure, take advantage of the guy in jail. Okay, fine, I can make the deal sweeter. I obviously don't have anything here, but there's a hidden stash in the lodge. And I did manage to hold on to the key. Take it.
Yeah, Albius, you based off of Albion, hence the name. Basically your attempt at recreating the Bretons, except they're the Empire. Ooh, Albion. That's something that I'm less familiar with Albion, but I do know of it.
My food is the best in all of Skyrim. Always as fresh as the day.
Anyway, now that we talked to the dude, now we can turn, like, actually complete this quest. We're very close to another level up here. Ah, look at those colors. I fucking love this game. It's so beautiful. Oh, it's so pretty. I love the prettiness. It's such a pretty game. I love it. I love it. I love Skyrim. So Albion was the original name for the British Isles according to the ancient Greeks. That's what it is, yeah. Interesting. Yeah, see, where I'm familiar with Albion is, like, a lot of... I think it's Albion, hang on. I felt like I most definitely have a book on my bookshelf. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Oh wait, no, there it is. That's too far away for me to read. Avalon. Never mind. Never mind. I was wrong. Avalon is different from Albion. I was thinking of like some mythical place that like apparently involves Merlin the wizard that a lot of people know from the like whole legend of King Arthur. But yeah, no. Albion is different from Avalon. Anyway. Speaking of, I actually have not read the Avalon series that is sitting on my bookshelf. It's just there for decoration. It's not that I don't want to, but like... It's hard to find time to read things, you know? Like, oh, are you kidding me? The See, a work in progress, is based off the Holy See, the center of the Catholic Church. That's interesting. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I do know that about the Holy See. Yes, you may, Impish. What's your question? Let's see. Oh. All those colors, and there's Frost. Are there undead in my world? Yes. Yes, there are. I just haven't worked out mechanically what, how, and why they exist. So... like, because they're not covered by any levels of... Actually, maybe they could be. I feel like there could be some... Right. Okay, here's an idea. So... Auramancers, right? Basically, what Auramancy is the ability to control and manipulate auras. You can amplify your own, you can basically corrupt others, you can also amplify others, you can detect auras. Basically anything that involves the word aura, you can do it. Here's an idea. What if... I might be making Auramancers way too powerful, but this is probably why they need this discussion about legality of when, why, and how you should be able to use Auramancy. If Auramancers can create and manipulate auras, what if high level, like really practiced Auramancers can either summon or create auras? That might be pushing it a little bit. That might be a little bit too powerful. But if they could just make, not even a long-term aura, just a temporary aura, as long as they're focusing on its existence, they could probably create an aura from scratch, or potentially break off another aura to create an aura, and animate a corpse with that aura, and kind of use it as a puppet. Like, kind of puppet people. Yeah, I know it doesn't sound broken as long as it's a high cost. My biggest concern right now is I have a lot of ideas for things that Auramancy can do. I just don't have a lot of ideas for a lot of things that, like, at the very least, two of the other schools can do, which are protection and divination. Those are schools that I have very little idea of, like, mechanically what they could do in like a D&D style campaign. Like, yeah, so I have more ideas about, oh my god, it's a Spriggan! I hate Spriggans! No! No, 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 go away, go away. Well, we found a Spriggan. 2? Oh, 2 is too many, my friend. 2 is too many! I need to run. I need healing. Well, you love world building, so if you ever want to talk shop, feel free to shoot me messages. That sounds awesome. I will keep that in mind. Probably gonna die, aren't I? I just don't have any healing potions, and Spriggans. I have like no magic resistance right now. Oh. Spriggans. Spriggans suck. Okay. Let's be a little bit better prepared this time. Alright, oak flesh. Let's also remember we have shouts. Alright, let's go and beat up one Spriggan. If I can get rid of one of them, we'll be in a better position because I can focus on one at a time. There we go. That's one Spriggan down. Somehow, okay, now I've taken damage. That makes sense. Why are you not taking any damage? I need healing! I'm stuck on my horse. I'm sandwiched between the Spriggan and the horse. Okay, there we go. Oh no, it's a fox. Frost! Oh my god, why are you attacking the fox? I need you to attack the Spriggan. The Spriggan is the important thing here. Let's use a shout. Why do you not take why do you take a lot more damage than the other Spriggan did? And now you're healing. You're new to fantasy world building, much better at designing superhero worlds. Been doing that since you were like 10. Yeah, it's... fantasy world building takes a lot of thought and effort into not just how different races are and cultures and stuff. Like, I think a lot about the economy of these worlds too, like what is each society focused on economically, politically, like all sorts of stuff like that. That could have gone very bad. I did have to use my healing potions, which I kind of wanted one of them, but well, there we go. Alright, back to Louis Litrish. Hello? Here's Frost. Am I not close enough to you? There you go.
Done it. Got to admit, I wasn't sure you could pull it off, but you've definitely earned your pay.
I don't really need Frost. You can have it.
Yes, yes, here it is. I think I'd best be off now.
Like, you can try and persuade him to let you keep Frost, but oh, look at these colors. This game is one of the most beautiful open world games I've played in my entire life. You designed your world to be run by clans who worshipped various spirits. Then your players said they didn't care about the clan, so you basically tossed it aside. That's unfortunate, but yeah, it sucks when you like put this central element to a world and like you try to apply it to a campaign, and the people participating in that campaign don't really care much about that element. God, look at these colors. I'm dead. No, they got hags to deal with. Yeah, from the DM's perspective, it really sucks when something like that happens. But I also, at the same time, like, the thing about D&D campaigns and stuff like that is it kind of functions as a first draft for you, right? Like, wait, are you?
I really need your help.
You're the person I needed.
What am I going to do? My job at the Riften Fishery is in danger. The owner, Wally, said that if I show up for work in this condition one more time, then I'm out. I don't mean to do this to myself, but I can't help it. I tried some skooma a year ago, and ever since then, I can't stop. If you
Yeah,
could
she's a
give me
skooma
healing
addict.
potion, I could cleanse this poison from my body and get back to my life. Thank you, my friend.
You just pull random stuff out of your ass in a D&D campaign. That's what I do, honestly. Like, I very much... I'm less of a planner. Like, I'll have an idea of where I want the story to go with the campaign, but for the most part, I ad-lib a lot of stuff in my campaigns to just kind of fit what the players want to happen and what the players want to do. But yeah, what I was saying is adding a world into your own custom world into a D&D campaign is actually a good way of seeing what other people are interested in, what parts of the world kind of work and what parts of the world kind of don't. It's kind of like applying a first draft to a real world experience and letting the people experience that and kind of work amongst themselves and decide for themselves what fascinates them the most about that world and what they don't really care so much for. And it can vary player base to player base. Like, some play groups will be very invested in the lore and like think very heavily about like clans and stuff like you talked about. Other players are going to be more chaotic and basically just try to, treat it like a lot of people might treat Skyrim, where they will just, rob things, try to seduce random people, and ultimately try to run the world by themselves, which is totally valid. Like, the point of a campaign is to have fun, right? You're a hardcore planner, but in your opinion, players are assholes, so why waste time building an intricate world or storyline if they're just going to ruin it? That's fair. I can still kind of, in the few campaigns that I've run, even if the players try to derail a campaign, I can still kind of steer them back on track from time to time, but I do end up doing a lot of ad-libbing. And yeah, I'm not very big in planning, necessarily, but the thing is, I feel with the Overseers, I do need to put a little bit more effort into planning a campaign than I normally do, just because it's a world that I care a lot about, and I put a lot of thought and effort into it, and I want to make sure at least all the important parts are fleshed out mechanically. Yeah, if you're good at ad-libbing, you can easily bring players back to the story. Pretty much, yeah, like... Let the players have their fun, but also let the DM have a few tricks up their sleeves so they can at least keep the campaign where they want it to be. Your issue you ran into was making the story around the world not about the players, so now it's all about them and we have more fun. That's good. Like, yeah, the thing is, I have the world there, I just don't have a whole lot of story there, but I think that's the thing, like, we could have the players kind of help with building the story, right? Like, that's the fun of D&D style tabletop games, is you kind of build the story as you go, right? Like, I have an idea for a story, but it's more a backdrop, and I start small. Yeah, like, for what I have in mind is basically the story I have in mind is more or less just like a backdrop, right? I'm kind of treating it as you would Skyrim, right? Like, not every player that picks up this game is going to focus on the main quest. They'll want to explore the world, or interact with various NPCs, maybe steal some stuff, maybe, you know, start their own crime faction, whatever. The main story is there, but I don't necessarily want that. I don't want that to be the all or nothing. Like, they have to follow this plot line, and if they don't, then screw them, right? Like, D&D is for the players. And so, yeah. Yeah, like, start small. Have an idea of what you want to do story-wise and where you want to go. But don't put too much of an emphasis on trying to flesh it out if the players themselves are just going to be like, well, we have something else we want to do instead. I think that's a good idea. Like, here's the thing, right? I had a campaign that I was doing, not for D&D, it was actually another tabletop called Ryutama. And I do recommend looking up Ryutama. It's a fun tabletop with slightly different mechanics from D&D. I'll type it in chat so you can look it up if you want, if you're not familiar with it. I ran a campaign of that before the pandemic happened. And I had like a basic idea of what we were going to start with, of like where I wanted the campaign to go with Ryutama, and the players actually made it go in a completely different direction, and I was fine with that. Like, I adjusted to their needs, and yeah, like, I didn't really put too much thought and effort into how the campaign was going to go long term, right? I had a vague idea, and if that doesn't end up fitting with what the players are going to do, I adjusted to that. Like, I had this idea of, you know, some big, like, thing where something's corrupting all the dragons and they have to save the dragons, right? The players, all they wanted was an airship. So I put them on this quest to find an airship. And at the very least book passage on it, and eventually letting them well, I was going to eventually let them, you know, have an opportunity to like take the airship, or maybe just find work on that airship or something, but we never got to that part. The pandemic happened and we basically stopped playing. But that's kind of what I did, you know. That's, I think, the right way to treat a campaign. So with that all said, we've been playing a bit. This stream has been going for 3.5 hours. We actually, like, did a lot more just... This is kind of what my Skyrim streams are. Or they're very just talking about random stuff and playing the game in the background. I think that's fair. I think that's a fine way to do it. But yeah, I think I'm looking forward to dinner. So I want to go ahead and switch things around. Let's go find someone to raid. And thank you all for being here. Tomorrow, I'm still working out all the details for tomorrow. I don't actually know if we are going to be... Like, on my schedule, I have collab question mark. I still haven't heard anything about that, so I'll do something tomorrow. Probably. Follow my Twitter and keep updated on that. But yeah, thank you all so much for being here. Let's... You know what? Let's raid... Who do I want to raid? Yasho's streaming. No, you know what? We're gonna raid one of my other friends here, Bandu. Right? Let's go and raid Bandu. So let's do that. Get that raid started, and yeah. Thank you all so much for being here, and it's been a lot of fun.
Good old missiles. Ah, hold on, I got something. I got something.